galactic travelers. Hello, everybody. Happy Venus graduates. Whoa. I'm gonna do this live. I was sitting down to do a video, and as you can see, I have all these points behind me because we're going to talk about like these energies that are going on right now. I am going live, but I'm telling you guys, I'm shaking all over from these energy shifts, and experiences have been rapidly popping up to work through in our personal lives, right? I mean, I just jumped on a live. I was drawn to go onto Ashtar Live, one of the 0010010 lives, and I'm normally only guided to go there when I'm called, and Bright Celtic Lights was there and just had a premonition of us talking at a really high dimensional level. And so I'm telling you guys this because these are things that are popping up, that we're all in this new energy now, and we're all here for each other. And so I wanted to go live to give you guys a avenue if you want to chat, but I do want to get through some information. Okay, so work with me. Venus graduated. Okay, so happy new moon. The energy yesterday was wow. Okay, what happened was not only did we have the sun and the moon conjunct at 22 degrees of Gemini, which is in Orion. So if you're an Orion starseed, then you're getting massive downloads, uploads, activations, whatever you would like to call it. Since that is in a lot of us, we're all getting a huge influx of kind of like a Mars, a 0 point energy. And 0 point energy is that magic balance of the divine feminine and the divine male, right? I mean, this is the right and the left brain. This is the Isis and the Osiris. So from a planetary perspective, what's been happening is we've been flooding, the planet with the divine feminine energy because it was so suppressed, and we had suppressed Venus, and we had suppressed this maternal intuitive energy within us so vastly as humanity and as beings, that we let that paternal left brain side take over. And so what we've been doing is we've been getting flooded with this divine feminine energy, which had to happen. That was the marker on how this energy shifted, on April 27th, when the energy shifted. And then we had that full moon that then flooded us, right? Well, right now and we had the energy is all guided through the zodiac. This is why it's so important, for us to understand the zodiac. And I am going to do some more videos and start breaking this down from an energy perspective a little bit better, so that we can start really seeing how we're guiding this energy now. And, over the past few days, what some revelations, Maruma 2, the peace dealer, I'm very grateful to have a channel directly to Maru. And so we had, it's getting to where she can go back through astrology, and she's doing seminars all over the world where she's showing where history is repeating it. It has repeated itself through the transits that are happening, okay? But, that's his story. That's history. This is our story, and this is what's new. And so we had, when all this energy started shifting and we're going through this ascension, now that we're anchoring in this 5D energy as a being at a soul level, this is stuff that's all new to us in at all. You know, this is some things that have never been done before. So for us to get to that point where the slate is wiped clean, where in our energies influx is raising in our bodies, because we're alchemizing this, because the energy is getting higher and higher on the planet, so our energy has to go up to meet it. And so what's happening is these, anything that's left within our vessels that's holding an emotion or a trigger or anything that's stopping us from fully embodying our full soul self in this new energy is coming up. And so for a lot of us, it's happening in rapid fire right now. And so these dimensional, we're having clearings that are happening where we're feeling these emotions all of a sudden. I had one 2 nights ago where I was watching the season finale of Sense8 and I just started crying, because it's like I realize, like, we're here. Like, this is what we've been doing for millions of years. You know, and this is where I started realizing, you know, Venus graduated. Because Venus, just in the middle of this new moon at 22 degrees Gemini, which is, you know, smack dab in Orion, is going to culminate in 2020, when Pluto and Saturn conjunct right on top of each other at 22 degrees of Capricorn. And remember, the energy of Pluto is transform or die. I mean, that's how we brought in this energy shift to get here, was, you know, the planetary alignment that was under, you know, in the Queen's chamber in Giza, in Isis's chamber. It showed this alignment. When this alignment got here, then that's when this change was going to happen. And that's what happened at the end of last year, when we had that little party in Capricorn, when all the planets went through the galactic center and got a rewrite of the new energy. So in what I'm saying is, whatever you're manifesting right now is going to fully ground in the physical in 2 years. And sky's the limit. Only thing holding us down is if we're holding on to anything that's not letting us dream big enough. Venus is graduating. And we're going to get a little bit deeper into this. Hi, is anybody there? I see some little things popping up. If there's trolls on, I haven't set up a moderator, so if there's trolls, just throw hearts at them and then ignore it. Yeah, so there's all these crazy transits that are coming up that I've been looking at, because when this culmination point happened on the new moon yesterday, and by the way, that 22 degree Gemini was also on the Osiris degree. This is information, if you haven't watched Sun Soul Astrology, she put out a free video, so pull up Sun Soul Astrology on YouTube and watch this video. It'll give you an idea of how intense and how I'm linking these starseed locations, because, you know, and this is information that Maru got from the Peace Dealer, that we put this together. So everyone's coming at this from different aspects, because we're all remembering how this works at the same time that we're, everyone's starting to look at these star locations. Since the beginning of May, like every single starseed location that could possibly get hit, like directly on a degree, has gotten hit, people. Like this it's crazy how many active, I mean, we're fully online and we're locked in, and I'm gonna do another video soon and go back over the Lemurian teachings, because that's what the Lemurians taught. We have to go back to the ancient ways. The Lemurians taught the 5-wheel spoke, and the 5-wheel spoke, you had to keep this wheel spinning constantly. It's all about the balance. We are the eye. Everything's spinning right now. So you have to hold tight. Hold tight and release what no longer serves. And so what's happening right now is, if it doesn't serve, no matter how deep it is, and for a lot of us, this is Venus, we're graduating, right? Doesn't this feel like graduation? Doesn't it feel like you're on the stage and you're halfway on the stage? And this doesn't have to be, this, for me, this is college. Because I had 203 credit hours when I finally graduated from college, because I moved around a lot. I was the twin seed, that purified the underworld. So it was, when I finally graduated, I didn't even get to walk across the stage. But it's that period, that phase where you've completed one thing, and you're so happy and you're so excited, and all you see is possibilities, and our minds are expanding, and we're realizing, all this stuff we've been talking about really works now. And now it's really starting to manifest. But you really don't have fear. It's anticipation, and we've been waiting hundreds of thousands of years to cross, millions of years, billions of years to cross that line. So it's like we're that's what we feel like, right? Is everyone vibrating? It's like, oh, we're right there. But then part of us then turns around to the other side of the stage, and we loved those experiences, we hated those experiences, now we understand them. But at the same time, on that, there's part of our human level that is having to let go of these last strings of something. We're all having to let go right now of these last strings of something that we had probably hoped, those were the last ones that we were like, our mind couldn't even fathom that we were going to have to let it go, possibly. Right? Because that's your old self. But when you leave college, when I left college, it was, oh man, I was like Miss Party Girl. I went to Southwest Texas State. I was a Delta Zeta sorority, again, my life has changed every 9 years. We're all characters, which I'm getting to why I'm telling you this story. So I'm leaving behind my college Christy, and now that's when I started basically corporate Barbie Christy, call her corporate Christy, 3D Christy, out to build companies, which I did. But when I stepped across that stage and went to the other side, I let that other one behind, and I knew that one, and I was secure with that one, and I'd gotten to the point where I even knew kind of what was going to happen, and I was so ready to move on. But then I knew that whenever I made this switch, that nothing was ever going to be the same. And Mars and Venus are starting, just now starting to oppose one another in the zodiac. And we've got all these other planetary alignments. We've got Orion online, we've got Lyra online, um, and the seed on the new moon has been planted. Your manifestations are being planted. It, the largest energy was yesterday when Venus was also at 0 degrees, because we had the sun and the moon energy right intertwined on top of each other, and then we had Venus at 0 degrees basically getting a rewrite. This is why if you're the energy yesterday was like whoa, 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 whoa. A lot of us were getting like pulled out into different dimensions. It was a strong like 0 point energy, just a pulsing. And so we planted that seed. Now, when you plant anything, this is where we go back to our teachings. When you plant anything, the ancient way is everything is in nines. This is where, the 369 and the Tesla energy and the atom having 8 parts, but the 9 changes the vibration. This is the simplex 9 that we're now formed as a hive, and how we're all telepathically connected and feeling the same energy and able to clear the karma through a collective, which is why it's rapidly speeding up in our lives, because we're clearing layers together. And I lost my train of thought because I got all wrapped up in the 3, 6, and the 9, okay? So we have 9 days. So we count forward to 9 days. So we planted the seed in 9 days. So I went looking at the astrology 9 days from now, and guess what day that is? That's June 22nd. This new moon just planted the seed at the sun and the moon at a manifesting new moon at the power of 0 degrees Venus at 22 degrees Gemini. It's fully seated at 22 degrees Capricorn in the year 2020. And 9 days from now is June 22nd. And when you look at June 22nd, Mars and Venus on that day are going to be exact opposing each other at 9 degrees and 4 minutes. 9, 9, 9 and 4 is 13. And then, so wow, okay. So we're just now building up to that vibration of that we're feeling this tug, but I want you to see that this is what this is. Venus is graduating, and she's might be saying goodbye to the boyfriend. She's moving away, and we're gonna try to make it work, but we're just seeing what's gonna happen, right? That's just what it brought me. But that's the energies that's the, hi Kratom, that's the energies that are at play, okay? So what also is happening is these little triggers are popping up. Like I just recorded a video and I'll release it, and the reason that I went live is because I just cleared a massive separation thing, and I'm going to start shaking here with my adopted parents, and this is why I haven't been here, guys. To if y'all are doing this, I'm going through this too. It's the past 3 days. There's been okay. I don't want to go there yet, but the past 3 days, every time I got ready to do a video, I got pulled to clear like a multi-dimensional level of some things recently. Yesterday, my body at that 0 point energy was just vibrating so much that I literally couldn't get off the floor for a little while. because the energy was so intense. And so we're still in this new moon energy. And this is our opportunity. This is grounding again in 2020. This is like this 22 gateway that's opening. And the nines is what I was going back to. We have all these nines in the chart for the 22nd of June. And not only that, but Mercury is at 18 degrees of Cancer, which, you know, Cancer is the energy that we're pouring back in. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you see how these energies in the zodiac are manifesting what we're talking about a new earth is. We're steering the planets, and this goes back to the Lemurian teachings, and one of those spokes is in the wheel is steering the stars, and it's mastering your energy to where we're able to focus it, and we're doing that now. So now all the astrologists, you know, it's like that the wheel is locked in, and the wheel of astrology is a wheel of numerology. There's numerology in it. I mean, these are our plans. This is what helps us guide this energy and transcend it. This is why we invented the original zodiac wheel, so that we could alchemize the energy and transcend it. And that's what new moon, and this is what Venus is all about, is alchemizing that energy. And this is new moon, powerful star seed energy, and we're anchoring it in 2020, and it's starting right now. So who are you? Who is your avatar in the future? Are you pimping your matrix, as Maru would say? Who is that person? What are you doing that makes you so full of joy? If you could dream any reality for those who are around you and that are left after this, because, you know, a lot of us, I mean, hell, I mean, we're the incarnation of the angels and the ascending masters, guys. I mean, we're ancient star seeds. We're the way showers. Dang straight, we're busting through some boxes that no one else is busted to. That's what we signed up to come and do. So we're busting through them. So let's put on our big girl panties. I just thought of Wreck-It Ralph. It's like we're Glitch in the little car from Wreck-It Ralph. We're like plowing through the matrix going glitch, glitch, glitch. That's what's happening. This is how this is happening. So we got the full glitch power on board. So what does this new version of this game we call life for humanity and humans 2.0 for the OA to correct these things with wisdom, with discernment, but out of pure love and pure joy? And you know how we're going to do it? Because we're clearing so much of these little remnants, these little remnants that we all hold in our human vessels that are popping out right now, whether it be with security or financials or situations, or your relationships are changing, or you're losing your house, or your car blows up in the middle of the street because Walmart forgets to put the gasket thing on a filter. And so I had been calling in a new car because I needed a more reliable car, and then my car breaks, totally the engine blows up. And so, you know, these changes are starting to happen, and when this started happening, in the back of my mind, I kept saying, I've been calling in a new car. How else am I going to get it without a whole bunch of coin? And now it looks like Sam Walton might be end up getting me a car for reals, because they admitted they were wrong. But I had to, in that situation, work through, in my experience, a bunch of male energy trying to tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about the car. But I was lovingly giving the information, and each roadblock that they would put up, I would just defend my point. And within 30 minutes, it completely changed to where the guy went, hey, it's all fault. Ring it up. Like, we'll get it figured out. But that's what type of things are happening too. Okay, so it's like two sides of the coin. We have these lost things that we're feeling, but then there's a bunch of positive things that are happening because we're calling in our highest timeline, and so we're letting go of some of these things that are a pain in the ass in the 3D physical to deal with. Like getting an in car and working through the current process. But what's happening is that we're opening it up so that we can get what we asked for. It's just not always the immediate human easy way that we think's going to come. It's not a blink. So some of the things that we're dealing with right now are also making us see, within that experience, I know that there was some lessons that I was showing myself. I was showing myself that I could make sure that this ended up manifesting for the best. But then, what we're finding is that in our personal life, there's still people that are holding us down. And it's becoming really evident right now. So if we can take this energy on this new moon and just, okay, if this is how it's going to be, if I'm standing in my complete power, then, and I'm standing what it feels like all by myself, but we're really not, we're all connected, that's just your ego, then let's do this. Then let's use all that anguish and pain and whatever and completely say, all right, it was all worth it. Now this is who I am. I am Cosmic Christy. I am the mermaid from Mu. Who and what are you doing to make you happy? And where are we living? And what does the world look like? And what are the animals like? And what are our schools like? Are we living in like blissful cities, blissness, where we're all working together? I mean, this is all possibilities, because we are shifting the poles of energy, which is why these 22 gateways and how all these things are coming online. And yeah. The other thing I want to add real quick too, and this has been coming up in a lot of the activations that I've been doing. Oh, by the way, thank you for everyone getting the cosmic coaching, and the keys. I know I'm still getting great, massive healings are taking place on these. It's because from your chart, I see why you came to me, and y'all, we're all linking up in divine plan, and it's always in your zodiac of where we were supposed to intersect and meet. And so what's happening in some of these is the beings that are contacting me are ancient star seeds in different races. And in the past couple of days, what's been happening at another dimensional level is we were drawn together, and two different healings took place over the past 2 days, because when we combine our intention together, and we have the energy of that seed, then when you clear it, it's cleared. This is how this is rapidly changing. So we cleared Thuban yesterday. Thuban is the Alpha Draconic royal house, if you will. But yeah, I mean, and on another healing was another multidimensional situation with Lyra, and remembrances of uh, when we got fooled, when the reptilians came in. So it's been amazing, amazing. So if you guys are resonated, I've still got my prices low, okay, and I'm keeping them that way as long as I have people coming in. If not, then I'm manifesting to where we don't even have to deal with that. So let's just put our intent on it. But when we create, with the change as far as your spider webs and your thoughts, okay, just think of a thought as a energy spider web, and you've got your right hand shoots out blue, and your left hand shoots out red. And every time you have a thought, then no matter what it is, then you're shooting out one of these webs, and they're not just an energy bolt that zaps out and comes back. It's Spider-Man. So whenever you shoot that web, you harness yourself to that thought. That is what's happening right now. So if you're not cutting your cords, and this is, people get confused about cutting cords, and this is like real important when you're Venus, right? We're Venus, we're graduating, so we're stepping across the stage. So we got to make sure that no matter what happened back there, we're totally cool with, because that is the resonance that's coming up in our body that is allowing us to create this. And if the new everything, because it's all about the resonance, it's all about the energy that we do it in. So if we keep harnessing ourselves to a negative experience, or even to our, to our kids. I know a lot of us are, when I tell people that they need to cut cords with their kids, they freak out, because they think, because that's our 3D mind saying don't do that, because then you're losing your connection with your, well, there ain't no way that connection is innate, we know that for sure. So all you're doing is releasing some of the stages of cords that you had, now that they're older, so that they feel freer to make their own decisions. As soon as you cut those cords, and as soon as you have another loving thought, you create a new one. Nothing is lost. You just got to erase it and clean it up a little bit. And this is basically what pranic healing is all about. It's cutting these cords. So just remember that when you after I do a session, after I do these videos, I have to cut cords, because I'm connecting with all of you guys' energies, and this is on a daily basis. So right now, it's just really important, if you can remember, you focus, whatever you focus on is your reality, so don't focus on anything that makes you have a negative emotion, because you're throwing out that left hand red strand to that thought, and then even if when you have a positive thought, then you're getting pulled back and forth. So we've got enough energy swaying us and guiding us to this blend. We have this nice blend of Mars and Venus right now, and we are in the center, and we are owning our power, and we are Venus at 1 degrees of Leo. because Venus didn't stick around in 0 degrees. Venus yesterday went from 29 degrees and transmuted it and processed it real quick and plopped out at 1 degree today. So it's shine time, and it's our time. And this is what we did this for. So no matter what comes across, just notice what it is and clear it and keep focusing and keep clearing. Don't stay harnessed down. Okay, I needed this right now. Thank you. I've been cutting lots of cords. One of my mentors did too. Yes, I didn't see who that was, but I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I will now if you guys want to ask some questions. If y'all are hanging up now, if you're watching this later, the seed's been planted. Focus your intentions and hoot hoot. We're here. All right, you guys have questions? What's happening? Trying to think. I hope I got everything. Oh, I love you. I love you. Norway, what's up? What's happening in Norway? Kratom, I can't wait to watch your show on Friday. You probably don't know this about me, but I also had an addiction issue big time. All of us, most of us did. It was part of the programming. We were addicted to something. We were addicted to either medications or alcohol or people or shopping or money or whatever. More on cutting cords on the older children. Okay. But on the addiction thing, I had gotten to where it was crazy. I mean, I should have died. But I also know that a lot of us, especially us way showers and star seeds, right? That our energy was so high that we had to hide a little bit. You know, we couldn't shine too bright because we are mirrors, and the energy was so low that it would create too much. It wasn't time yet. So a lot of us, in a soul level, I know I did, allowed myself to be suppressed. But then when it was time to wake up, it was like, okay, you got to ditch that issue. I mean, literally, my doctor was thrown in federal prison. Is what made me finally deal with it, because we're stubborn as shit. So, and we all have this problems. That's the thing. Like the programs are all the same. Which you start seeing and you start talking about your truth, what you start realizing is that we've all lived the same lessons. That's how we made the shift. We had to live those different programs. So there's nothing to be ashamed or anything about. I mean, it was all for now. And the older children, I mean, it's not even about okay, so we're talking about cutting cords. We have to start cutting cords. Quiet in the voice and that too. Brian's talking about us medicating ourselves. Well, yeah, because we didn't know what the hell was happening. I mean, I think there's some crazy statistic where like 85 or 90% of the people that were in mental institutions were all fair-eyed. And when you go back, and it's not that fair eyes are better or anything, but there is different DNA sequences that tend to be linked back to more of the original seed Celtic, that line on the human side that are fair eyes. And the eyes have a lot to do with telepathy, and you can even tell how much somebody is awake through their irises. But anyway, they were in these mental institutions, but a lot of it was because they were suppressing us, because they didn't want this to happen, because it didn't take much for all of this to shift because of the power in our beings and the help that we're getting from above. And we didn't know what the hell was going on until I went to rehab. I didn't know that I was carrying someone else's energy. I mean, this was November 2016. I mean, it hasn't even been 2 years. Is when I because somebody was finally teaching me, especially those of us who were adopted and in foster systems. We set it up like that because we had to understand it at a soul level and trust that intuition on a soul level. The way the DNA works, whenever you have other people at your energy frequency, then you're automatically getting support. And at a soul level, you might not think you are, but you are. There's telepathy and there's frequency going on. But a lot of us starseeds, the reason that we grew up in all these crazy different family situations is because we had to clear those programs, and we had to learn and be able to catch up in this life. So when this happened, then we would fully trust our intuition and not be so anchored with these cords that I speak of, right? I mean, this happens on different dimensional levels. So the best way to describe it is, again, even when we look at the zodiac wheel, and this all goes back to the energy, because the zodiac is just a way to screen the energy. When you look at the zodiac, I always tell people, don't forget, this is where we want to be. You might have planets right here, and one planet here, and one planet here, and one planet, and you might, that these are these energies that are coming in, but at the end of the day, you want to be standing straight up and down, connected to connected with your top, your star chakra and your star earth chakra at the bottom of your feet, and you want to be perfectly blending all of it. Well, right now, this sucker's moving fast because we got an influx of energy that's coming in, that's shifting the ages. I mean, this is the shift, the age of Aquarius. We're not exactly sure, but planetary stuff's starting to happen. It's going to keep happening. The only thing that's holding us down is us right now, and that's why we need to be concentrated on only the future, because we're creating it. But as that happens, we have to remember that we're the eye of the tornado. We are, the cosmic Christie symbol. I mean, that is transcendence. That is the CC hyperstar. That creates that 9 vortex energy, that when the 3, the 6, and the 9, when the 8 atoms keep going, that's the 9 energy. So that's at your crown chakra. So you are the center of that tornado. And if the faster, the less that you're held down by expectations or blocks, because your whole goal right now is to stay in the most divine resonance, so that as we're shooting, that only because that's how law of attraction works. If we're the strongest resonance, pure heart resonance that we're at right now, that's what we're going to attract, and that's what's happening, and that's what's changing the ages and shifting us into this new dimension. And know that not only when Venus graduated, we're also shifting Venus beings for the first time. This white celestial beings are now able to move up to a new dimension as well, or move on into the Andromeda dimensions. So I mean, this is like a massive energy shift that's pulling us up. So those cords, guys, people always want to know, how did I shift so fast, and how did I get through stuff so fast? Well, when I tell them how I did it, they always kind of look at me like I'm crazy. But now, like, everyone should be doing this. I release everything that does not serve me, and it's not of my highest good and the highest good of humanity. That's how you do it. And then you hang out and like start watching everything change. It's always difficult, the transitions in a human vessel, because we're having to ground into the physical. right now, but know that that is really starting to adjust to our frequency. So those experiences get less and less difficult whenever you start realizing that you're creating the outcome by your thoughts. And this is my point, because if you're moving forward and you're shooting off, but then in the back over here you're throwing these cords to this thought of lack, or this thought of not having enough because of this, or I'm too damn scared to do it and I still haven't dealt with why, or whatever that is. What you're doing is harnessing yourself to the ground. And so you're going like that, and it's like, dang, you got to cut those cords. And just in this now, you cut all of it. It doesn't matter if it's your son, or if it's the older son, or the baby, or the husband, or whatever, because you have to know in the core of your being that you are at the center of all of it. And then especially right now, since a lot of us are the ones that are the awakened starseeds in these families that are not, then you have to realize that your focus on yourself and your resonance, and always creating a positive outcome and staying away from the rest of it, is what's going to change the reality. But don't hold an expectation of what that looks like. Because whenever you make an expectation of what that looks like, then what you do is you shot out a cord of this particular vision that you have in mind, in your human mind, of what that highest timeline is. And when it's not that, then not only did you harness yourself down a little bit from getting to quite the highest dimension that you could have gotten, but now whenever you get even better, you don't think that you got it, because you're still got that vision in your head. And this is the part that we're dealing with right now. This is what I'm, but this is like the test. This is what's happening. So just cut the cords every day. Keep your energy pure. Know that you stand in your own power, and be guided. And know that, yes, this energy is shifting really rapidly. So I'm going to release a video after this, and it's pretty personal. But I want you to see, because I called a friend right before I did this video, and I said, gosh, we're going through these major shifts really quickly, and this is what I've been dealing with, and I just did a video, because when I sat down to do this, I had an event pop up in my life to where I had to deal with a deep, deep issue, and I just started bawling, crying. And it was a deep one. And it was one that for a moment I had this full-on emotion of feeling really alone. But we're graduating. Moving from that dorm room or that apartment with our 3 girlfriends that we knew always could cover us. And now we're going out into the world stage. 1 degree Leo. Leo's the world stage. And Venus is gonna go over the true node soon, and then for the collective. And what's interesting is when that happens, then the true node is gonna start going backwards. And then very soon that true node for the collective is gonna be in Cancer. And what is the age of Aquarius? We're bringing back Cancer to Capricorn. We're bringing back the motherly intuition, the moon, your emotions, all of us. Healing, understanding, understanding, compassion, love, and rebirth. Leaving a perfect home to start going in a mountain so difficult. Birth home. Maybe I need to cut the journey. Yes, cut those cords. You planted seeds. You planted seeds where the roots are. If you're digging the earth, I mean this nine, you know, the keys and the information that comes in that led me to the 22nd was the cycle of nine, which is an earthly Mayan knowing. The Indians, everything was a cycle of nine. You built a house in 9 steps. You planted seeds in 9 steps. I guarantee you that we never planted seed. We didn't just go pick the fruit and like chop the stem off at the ground, dig up the dirt, throw the seeds in on top of the roots, and then cover it back up. I'm a 9 too, Santa. Right? We're doing a good job. I just got a galactic report. 9's online, helping change the timelines. That's what we do. So, is there anything else? Are you guys chatting back and forth? Everybody doing good? I'm a 9 also. Yes, Deborah. And Deborah introduced me to Milky Way. And I mean, that's where, yes, we're all, the 9s were, you know, we also have X's on our hands. See that X in between this line and this line? This is the X factor. This is the X factor that's in your blood. This is actually how the hospitals and different factions, if you will, that's how they found us. There's actually a marker in the blood genetic readings and the blood tests that they do, but then it manifests in the body and those X's, and that is also that 9 energy, because the 9 is the blending of it. There's the divine feminine, draconic, Venus, Isis, Gabriel, right? I mean, there's so many dark, light and dark, right? And then the Archangel Michael, the galactic side. So when these intertwined, then these made the Adam made the 8. And when they became right? Because that's really what it is. It's a resonance, perfectly blended in resonance. That created the 9. And that 9, so a lot of us have that 9 and 11 and 7 and 3 and 6. You know, 3, 6, and 9. 3 is a catalyst. 6 is just 9 upside down. There's a switch that happens there in a balance, so the 6 and 9s are balanced. Can the X be a part of the M? So if Sherry, I can't remember you. Well, the M, the X is a different marker. The M, I've seen. I mean, that M. This is also a starseed marker. There's different ones too that I've noticed are more predominantly in different bloodlines. See, I don't think I have it on my right hand, but yeah, I mean, those are, and I know some are way more predominant, and it seems like the O negatives have more. I've just noticed. I'm not saying all. I'm just making that the O negatives have a more predominant one. Well, it's not just that. No, the M and the X's, that's not it has nothing to do with negative bloodline, because remember, now humanity has so much of the negative bloodline in it that it's recessive. I mean, that's we alchemized those separate pieces, which one of them was the hive mind and the intelligence on some of the levels, and some of it was the different type of intelligence. I mean, these are just different, again, light and dark, masculine, female, and the intertwining and blending of. And we did that within our bodies as a human as humanity. So what I'm saying is that it's not a negative thing. These M's and things in your hands are markings of your DNA, no matter what your current blood type is, because your soul is, that blood type. I mean, it's a mix to show what you have, a physical and a galactic DNA mix. Hope that makes sense. All right, guys. I love you guys. I hope this was awesome. I'm gonna go take care of my car now. Oh, negative and have X in both hands. Yeah, I mean, the X is the telepathy. The X is the bloodline. The X is that we're all psychic. I mean, because, come on. I mean, we know this, right? For sure. We're all freaking psychic. We're all whatever. Listen, you go focus in the mirror at your pupil and tell your pupil to grow. I mean, yeah, we can do all this stuff as, and heal our bodies, talk to our bodies. We are the OA. But what are we going to do with it? We don't need to convince ourselves anymore that we have telepathy and psychic abilities, right? I mean, we know this. We know that synchronicities are leading our path. We know that this story's already been written right now. We're just trying to rise up in an energy so that we can meet it. So be the eye of the tornado. Cut your cords and send loving thoughts, loving, because remember, you can, just process it through love. Don't concrete the thought. Just, that's your motor, is your resonance. And quickly, when you fall into something, or if you fall into an emotion, you don't even know what it is, just sit with it and ask it, what is this? And release it. And it'll come to you. You'll know what it was. And then let it go and go. Because we're shooting for the stars, baby. We didn't do all this shite for nothing. You hear? I love you guys. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. Hang on. We're on Cosmic Surfing Crew, right? Talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye. If I can hang up. Mwah.